There are 4 main stages that are worth grinding at, and each have their own unique advantages and setbacks. But which map is the best? The 4 maps in question are the hard campaign stages 1-16, 3-10, 3-16, as well as the bonus stage, Bonus Boss 3. So for this video, I'll break down the drop rates of each of these stages to come to a conclusion. While each of these 4 stages have the exact same drop table, there are still some things that set them apart. So let's quickly understand the differences between each of these stages first. Now firstly, the reason why 1-16 is possibly a good choice is due to its low stamina cost of just 10 per run. So if the drop rates of all the stages are equal, then this stage would definitely be the best for farming in. For 3-10, it might be reasonable to assume that with a stamina cost of 14 per run, it should come also with a better drop rate. However, this stage also has 4 waves as opposed to a usual 2 or 3 waves, meaning there would be more chances for enemies to drop loot. And now for 3-16, this is essentially the hardest stage among all released campaign stages, so it would also make sense for it to drop the best loot among all of these campaign stages. Then finally, we have the Bonus Boss 3 stage, which is in itself not only the literal hardest content in the game, but also a bonus stage. It would be expected that this stage should be a treasure trove of resources, the de facto stage to farm endlessly with the best characters in play. Right? So I've gone ahead to farm each of these stages 50 times and recorded every single one of these runs so we have a better idea of which is more worth it. Do note that what I collected is merely a small sample size and likely unrepresentative of the actual drop rates, but this is all a single man can manage for now. Regardless, I feel like the results are fair, so let's take a quick look. I've distributed the findings into 3 categories: an overall summary at the top, the drops per stamina in the middle, and the drops per run at the bottom. For the sake of this video, we'll only need to pay attention to the drops per stamina section and nothing else. The green labeled cells correspond to the stage having the best drop rates for the specific item. And these items are labeled accordingly as Upgrade Pixels, Truth Orb Fragments, Kindness Orb Fragments, Justice Orb Fragments, Customization Seed Kilobytes, Attack Boost Cubes, and Defense Boost Cubes. At first glance, it appears that 1-16 is not a strong contender due to a lack of green, which is true. I find very little purpose to farm it even if I were in great need of boost cubes. There are simply better options. It might then seem like 3-10 is the best stage for farming due to the sheer number of green that we can see. However, most of these items are actually not important. The only relevant items to us are the Kindness Orb Fragments, Justice Orb Fragments, Attack Boost Cubes, and Defense Boost Cubes. It does however have a notable Kindness Fragment drop rate, but I'll explain why it does not really matter all that much in just a moment. Now moving on to 3-16, while it only seems to serve one single purpose for dropping Justice Fragments, it is actually pretty well rounded. While not the best, the rest of the items dropped still have pretty good rates. Then finally for Bonus Boss 3, this stage also has really good drop rates all around, save for the pretty pathetic Attack Boost Cube drop rate. So here's the conclusion. In my humble opinion, 3-16 is the best place to farm, even better than Bonus Boss 3. Not only does 3-16 have well-rounded drop spreads, the weak drop rate for Kindness Fragments is actually not a punishing point. The actual use ratio of Kindness Orbs to Justice Orbs is about 3:1, and that means we're already getting too many Kindness Fragments from farming 3-16 against the already high drop rate for Justice Fragments this stage provides. So this stage is very safe to farm mindlessly. But here are 6 additional reasons why farming 3-16 is superior to the Bonus Boss 3. Firstly, 3-16 is extremely easy and very quick to clear. Each stage can be done within a few seconds just using Cinderella. This departs heavily when attempting Bonus Boss 3, which might take 3 minutes per run. Secondly, there is also a cheese strategy to manually clear these stages and retreating until we get a treasure chest drop, which provides extra goodies for that run. 3-16 is much easier to sweep, making this cheese strategy easier to deploy. Now thirdly, for some odd reason, the campaign stages gives the player 10 EXP per stamina consumed, whereas the bonus stages gives the player only 8 EXP per stamina consumed. So doing 3-16 will actually give the player 140 EXP per run, whereas the bonus boss stage will only give the player 112 EXP per run. Fourthly, the power ceiling to break to grind 3-16 is so much lower than the bonus boss stages. The fifth reason is you can easily grind 3-16 while raising the explorer levels of 4 other units to farm those crystal rewards from exploration level ups. And the sixth and final reason is you won't experience random losses as you would from grinding the bonus boss stages, making 3-16 simply the best choice for farming. All things considered, 3-16 is probably the best stage for repeated farming right now. That is until we get more updates and new stages to consider.